Hello friend, good morning. As you can see, we have discussed in last lecture about the manufacturing process. So you can refer that lecture. It is available on the Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel. So in continuation to that, today we will discuss about the classification of the manufacturing process. So we can see manufacturing process is basically classified into three categories. First one is shaping, second is the joining, and third one is finishing. Shaping, what exactly we are doing? We are creating a new component from the raw material. Okay, so it may be the first case. If we take the example of the casting, what we are doing, we are creating the first mold exactly. Include the shape of the component, which is actually our design component basically. In that case, what we are doing, we are melting the material, that is our design material, and we are pouring that material into the die. Okay, and what we are doing, we are solidifying. Then we are allowing some time to solidify that material. After that, you will get exact shape as per your the design. So first one is the shaping, and second is the joining. You can see we have lots of technology that has been used for the joining of the two materials. Suppose you want to join two rod or to suppose two metal. So in that case, we can use the welding. Even we can use the screw and nut bolt. Even you can use the riveting. Okay. Suppose you want to create the pressure vessel. In that pressure vessel, we are using the rivet joint. Suppose you want to join the two rail track. In that case, we are using the welding process. So this process is basically joining process. Okay, so joining of the two component, which is very necessary to complete the our design actually. Okay, in third case, it's a finishing process. So this is also one of the most important manufacturing process, because in the first case you will get the shape of the component, but when we talk about the tolerances and the closeness of the dimension, so that is not possible in the casting and forging. Okay. Up to some extent that is possible, but if you require the very close tolerance. Okay, suppose you have a hole and shaft assembly. Okay, suppose you want to fit the bearing on the shaft. So in that case, you require the very close tolerance. So that is not possible in the shaping process. That is all. We can say it's a primary manufacturing process. Okay, but when we goes to the last one, that is finishing process. So finishing process basically has to be done on the manufactured component by the first one. You can see in the first list, left hand side. So you will get the exact tolerance actually, okay, which is basically used for the assembly and the other purposes. So here we have polishing, electroplating, okay, printing, heat treatment. So these are the some finishing process. So don't worry about this process. We will discuss one by one in detail. So you come to know that exact the idea and a principle, application, advantage, disadvantage of the all the manufacturing process. So ultimately you can decide which process is used for the specific application. So a traditional manufacturing process, that is the casting, forging, sheet metal processing, forming processing, and joining. Okay. So these are the normally process which is used each and everywhere, and these are the very simple manufacturing process. Now we will start from the first one. There is a casting process. So we can say most widely used casting process, accounting for a significant majority of the total tonnage cost. Okay, nearly all alloys can be sand coated, including metal with the high melting temperature, such as steel, nickel, and titanium. Casting range all size from the small to very large, and product quantity also, you can say you can produce the one component, if you want to produce million component, that can be possible with the casting process. Okay, so this is a very common process, and each and every industry has the casting unit. So here you can see this is a very simple photograph of the air compressor fan basically, which is actually casted. So application, you can see there are lots of components. Each and every industries are using the casting process. Like in automobile, you can see brake system elements that was made by the casting process. Transmission system. Okay, here you can engine component. Okay, alternator, flow measurement instrument, or we can see component, steering system, transmission device. So these are all the component which was made by the casting. So gearbox casting, generator housing, compressor casing, pulley, bracket, door handle boxes, clip, valve bodies, hydraulic control system, compressor blades, turbine disc. So these are the actually which component which was made by the casting. Okay. So first I will show you one video. Basically it is available on the YouTube. Okay, you can search also. So after watching this video you will get some basics idea, and actually you can imagine the casting process in your mind after watching this video. As you can see, here we have a box, and that is poured with the sand actually, and in that we have placed the one pattern. Okay, and what we are ramming the sand, and you can see at the back side we have also a cover that is known as the cop, and second exactly same. You can see this is a symmetric part, and which is exactly placed on that part, and again we have filled with the sand, and again we have rammed tightly, so can any air cannot be trapped in between. Now what we'll do, we will remove that pattern from the sand. Okay, now we have closed the box. Then you can see exact shape which was made inside the sand. Okay, now you can see here we have filled the material. Okay, here you can see we have filled the material. Okay, this is for preparing this top and drag. Okay, you have to follow the number of steps and number of attachments are available, but in this video it is not shown, but lots of videos are available on the YouTube. It is freely available on YouTube. You can watch the casting process, so you will get the basics idea how casting has to be done. Okay, so here you can see like I have created the two holes. Okay, this is my required shape, and this is the material added to this hollow shape. Actually this was the empty shape. As you can see, when we fill the material, when we fill the liquid, okay, this was the molten metal, so it was filled in this shape, and exactly the excess material goes to the upward direction. After that what we'll do, we will remove this hop and drag, and ultimately we will get the final product. In video the casting process is very simple. Okay, but you have to follow the steps very seriously. Okay, so you will get the product without any defect. Otherwise you will get the number of defects, like some air is trapped inside the metal, or some damages, or you will get the rough surfaces. Okay, so here you can see there are a number of steps that you have to follow for the casting process, like pattern making. Pattern making is the process, and it is very important because as you make the pattern, you will get the exact shape. Suppose you have some problem in pattern or some dimension error, okay, so ultimately you will get the that error which was mirrored, actually it was transferred to the final component. So the first step is very important and it is very costly also. So pattern making process is the heart, we can say it's the heart of the casting process. Second thing is molding and pop making. As we have shown in video, like we made two different boxes for pop and drag. It is known as the pop and drag, okay, which was filled with this sand, okay. So this is also very important process. Melting and casting, again what we are pouring the molten metal into the pop and drag, and it was very interesting, okay. And again we have to give some time for the melting of the casting, okay. So removal of the sand and testing and inspection. So these are the 5 steps which are very necessary in the casting process, okay. So again I'm telling you, like go to the first and also watch this video and study and try to understand the process, okay. So these are the 5 steps we will discuss one by one in the next lecture. Thank you.